So in this video we're going to look at adding staff members. So first of all we need to log in, and we've been logging in as Andrea Sample. And this will take us to the centre page. At this point a centre number hasn't been assigned, so this centre has not yet been approved by QNUK, but they can still add staff. So we're going to click on add staff. Now you may remember we're logged in as Andrea, so we can see Andrea's name here as head of centre, and then we've got an opportunity to add staff. We're just going to look at Andrea first of all. So if we just click on that, there's no number been assigned to her. What you can do at this point is, if you needed to, was to change password. So you add in a new password, repeat it, and then you would simply save it. What we are looking at here is we're going to add some details for Andrea. So we're going to have an address for her. She's in the UK, and then we can add a telephone number. Already got the email address in there, and the date of birth does help because obviously some names there may be duplicates, so it helps us to differentiate between different people of the same name. So put her in here, and we just say that's when she was born. And her main role is the head of centre. There are other roles, and it's going to be these roles that you're going to assign to different staff members. Now Andrea at this point is going to be the head of centre. She is ultimately in charge. She's also going to be the main centre contact, the person we deal with on a day-to-day basis. However, she isn't going to take any of the other roles, and we will talk about those in a moment. As we scroll down, we want to see who else can view Andrea's profile, who else will see her name and address and stuff like that. So if you would like other people to, if you would like the exams officers and delivery staff to see this profile, tick the boxes below. Andrea would prefer that actually her details weren't seen, so they're going to be left unchecked. Some people will always be able to see. You can see these roles here. REQA team will be able to view details. IQAs will be able to view. The main centre contact and head of centre will always be able to view as well. So we're just going to save those details for Andrea. There are other sections here, any notifications, and that will be our EQA team. As they check things, they may indicate that something's missing. We've got a file section where we can upload documents, and we've got a CPD section where obviously any CPD entries can be made. What we're going to look at now is the different roles available to staff members. So look at now the range of different roles available from QNUK. You can see there are several different roles available. These may not be the job titles of people within your centre. However, they are the roles that we've assigned and the permissions given on QNUK. So you can see you've got the main centre contact, you've got the head of centre, lead exams officer, lead IQA, IQA and delivery staff. So the first one then is going to be the main centre contact. This is the person that we will have day-to-day dealings with in relation to Qualifications Network. The main part of the main centre contact is they must be able to speak on behalf of the organisation, on behalf of your centre. This person has full access to QNUK, so they'll be able to view all the documents that have been uploaded, they'll be able to view all the staff, they'll be able to view all the cohorts of learners. We've then got the head of centre. This is generally the most senior person in the organisation, so whether that's the owner of the business or the managing director. They may not have day-to-day dealings with Qualifications Network, so they've got oversight of what their organisation is doing, but they may not be involved in the day-to-day running. Of course, in a smaller centre, they may well be, one individual may be the head of centre, the main centre contact, and then have other roles as well. They will be our point of contact if there are any significant concerns at the centre, often because it may be their business that's at risk. So if the accounts department aren't completing and paying invoices, or if delivery staff are accused of malpractice, then obviously it's the head of centre that will need to be involved with that. Again, this person has full access to MyQNUK. Next person is going to be the lead exams officer. This is generally an administrative role. It's generally not a role to be given to delivery staff members. Of course, in a small business where it is one person, they may well have some roles assigned to them, but in general, it's not going to be delivery staff having an exams officer's permission. They can view all uploaded cohorts of learners. It may be a role, the lead exams officer, you haven't got to have one. It's generally a role if you've got more than one exams officer, so typically the supervisor of those exams officers. In relation to exams officers, again, it's generally an administrative role. It's not a role to be given to delivery staff unless, again, it's a small organisation. You want control over this. It's certainly, we've seen in the past where people are using freelance trainers and they're giving them exams officers permission. That means you're giving them access to quite a lot of data. So it's definitely something that most centres would have one exams officer. They can view cohorts of learners that they've uploaded, but they can't view all cohorts. Then we look at the internal quality assurer. We've got a lead IQA, and this role is used if there are a number of internal quality assurers at the centre. Most may only have one or two, and therefore this role may not need to be assigned. If you are assigning a lead IQA, we'd expect them to be fully qualified, so they should have a full level 4 IQA qualification. With an IQA, each centre needs to have one or more of these, and again they should hold a suitable IQA qualification. They will be assigned the IQA permission where they've got subject knowledge is held. So it may be that they are a health and safety professional, they've got their IQA qualification, and therefore they may be assigned as the IQA for health and safety, but not something like first aid or assessing. They can view all areas of MyQNUK because they may well need to verify each of those areas. Then we look at delivery staff. To assign a member of staff as a delivery member of staff, they should have suitable teaching, assessing and subject qualifications, and these do need to be uploaded onto the system. They will only be able to access key areas of MyQNUK, the areas that we would expect if you were using, for example, a freelance trainer, the information that they should have available to them, for example, your policies, but they wouldn't have access to areas such as your learner registrations. They can't upload or view any learner details, so they cannot act as the role of the exams officer unless that's been given to them. And again, just stress that we wouldn't give the IQA or exams officer's permission out to everybody. They should be people with those designated roles before they get those permissions. Okay, so we've looked at Andrea and that she's an administrator, although she's the head of centre, of course. She's not got any files going to be uploaded. She's got permissions for main centre contact and head of centre. We've looked at the different roles then that will assign different people. So what we're going to do now is, remember we are still logged in as Andrea, we're going to add in a member of staff. So when we do this, we're going to first of all give them a password. And this will be something you'll need to send to that staff member, and they of course can change later when they go to their profile. There is an option to upload a photo, and again that's really useful where we're verifying that the person is who they say they are during verification activities. We'll then give them their name, so we're going to have Thomas here. Sample. And again we've got his address in. It's just where these fields have been pre-filled before, just allows me to do that. And again with this is Thomas's email address. If Thomas loses his password, this will be the address that it was sent to. So what you don't want to do is have a freelance member of staff and just keep giving them email addresses for your centre, such as info at, admin at, accounts at. It should be their personal email address. And again, if we can, we're going to have in there their date of birth. So it helps us again to differentiate between different people of a similar name. Now we're looking at their roles. So Thomas's role is not going to be the head of centre. We only ever have one of those, and that is of course Andrea. It's not going to be main centre contact, because again we have one of those, and it's Andrea. Thomas's role is really going to be delivery staff member. He's not going to have any of the other roles. And then of course we look at who's going to be able to see Thomas's details. Again, all of these people will naturally be able to see them, but it's whether the exams officers and delivery staff need to see those. And again, we're just going to leave it empty and save those details. If we now look at our staff, we can again now see we've got our main contact, our head of centre, and a delivery member of staff. So if we just click on that, so far then, as far as QNUK can see, we've got a staff member uploaded. But we don't really know, apart from their delivery staff, we don't know what their plan is for them to teach. So what we're going to look at now is we upload his files. So what we're going to do now is going to add the first document. When you open this up, it's looking for the type of document. So we've got an activity log, certificate, CVs, expense records. There's a range of different documents you could upload to help manage your centre. We're going to upload a certificate, and this way we're going to start to demonstrate that Thomas has got suitable teaching experience and subject knowledge. Then we're going to put in a brief description here. Sometimes people put certificate or something more generic. This is no use to your IQA team or our EQA team or any other member of staff who needs to see what file that actually is. So we're going to actually put down the exact file that it is. And that way it's very, very clear when you log in, you can see what that file is. We're then going to browse to search for that file. And again, if we just look here, the sorts of things that people try to upload. So we've got an example here, all certificates I've ever achieved. And this is where someone will put up a PDF document, and on that it's got 50 sheets with 50 different certificates, of which maybe 1 or 2 are of use to us. So we really encourage people not to upload that sort of document. We've also got documents where people have just put a code in that they would understand. So perhaps FAQ is first aid qualification, but it may be frequently asked questions about something. What we're looking for then is a clearly worded file, which we're going to upload. We then, of course, upload that document. We can then see we've got the level 3 award in first aid at work. In the back end, our team will be able to see that it was level 3 first aid. We'll then add another document. And again, we're going to upload a certificate. This is going to be a NEBOSH General certificate. And it's here. You can see there the document is 2010. And of course we'll upload that. Upload the final document, and again we're going to do another certificate, and this one was a petals qualification. And upload those. So our team will actually look in the back end, and what we'll be able to see here is that we've got Thomas who can teach, he's got first aid as a subject area, and he's got NEBOSH. When we open up the files, or when we look at your description, we'll see that NEBOSH was done in 2010. So approximately 8 years ago, Thomas undertook a health and safety qualification. For us to assign health and safety to him, we'd need to know that that information was up to date. That's not going to be possible just seeing a qualification from 2010. And that's where it's useful if we add another file that he may well have here, and this could be a certificate, and this was going to be We browse for this one, and you can see here we've got a certificate of attendance for a health and safety inspections workshop. So we'll open that, and we'll just tidy up the title there. And we can upload that. We'll add another file then. And again, it was a certificate of attendance. This one was going to be to do with ROSPA. And as we open up, we can see it was the ROSPA DSE Risk Assessor. So again, we don't want that title just to be ROSPA. And that's going to match nicely now, and we'll save that document. So now when we look in, we can see that Thomas has done his petals, he can teach. He's got current first aid knowledge. He's got a NEBOSH, but unfortunately it was taken back in 2010. But we can see in the meantime, he has actually been doing some more courses. What adds to the weight is when we add this and we do activity log. And what we've got here is a list of courses that is taught and assessed in the past 2 years. You can upload that now, and it's very easy for your IQA team and our EQA team to see why Thomas is looking to teach health and safety, and perhaps first aid, because he's got current knowledge. Although he's got his advanced knowledge a while ago, he's maintained that with some CPD attendance. He's got a current first aid certificate, and hopefully a list of courses that he's taught in the past. And that way, that's really good evidence that he's going to be able to take on these courses and deliver them in a competent manner. We can then just go back to general. All of those have been saved. We've got Thomas uploaded now. We've got some files uploaded for him. What we can also do is add a CPD entry. Very simply, click there, click on the date of the CPD, adapt how many hours it was, the type of CPD it was, any comments about it, your reflections, which is obviously a really useful thing to do with CPD, and if there was any action plan that you're going to complete there. And again, it's really good to have that as short, medium and long-term goals. If there's any supporting evidence, such as a certificate of attendance, you can browse for it, obviously give it a suitable title, and then save that document. If we go back to our staff now, we can see we've got Thomas has been uploaded. We've got our head of centre and main centre contact. What we don't have at this centre yet is an IQA. So we're going to add a new member of staff. Again, we're going to add in a password for them. And this is something they can change later. We've got Beth and Brown. And we'll just fill in her details here. And Beth so we've got all the Beth details in, and again it was her personal email address. It's not a company address in this situation. This was Beth's personal one because she's a freelancer. So we think about her primary role now. And we do know that the primary role we want Beth to do is actually going to be an IQA. However, to be an IQA, she's going to have subject knowledge, and actually she may also then have a secondary role as delivery staff members. Again, she wants to keep some of her personal information personal, and therefore she's not going to indicate that these people can see it, and she'll simply save those details. And again, what we can do now, we are still logged in as Andrea, but we are viewing Beth's profile, and that's something that Andrew can do as head of centre or main contact. And again, we're just going to upload files for her. And in this case, we're again looking for a certificate, and this was going to be a level 4 IQA qualification, and we'll find it for her, upload, And again, we can continue to do that until all of her certificates have been uploaded. And you can see that Beth has also got a first aid at work, and she's got a list of courses that she can be delivered. Let's get these up. It's useful putting in the date there, and that helps you track that in 2020 that certificate will be out of date. It's actually 2018. And again, finally, she had a list of courses that she can deliver. And again, that's now been uploaded. So again, for your delivery, for your team and for our EQAs, we can see now why Beth is competent to be an IQA at your centre. She's competent because she's got a suitable teaching and assessing qualification. She's competent, she's got a level 4 IQA qualification. Her subject knowledge is first aid. So she's not going to be the IQA for the health and safety qualifications. So that's going to mean this centre is going to need 2 IQAs. But she is competent to be the IQA for first aid. And that's again supported by her activity log. You'll continue to do that with all of your staff. And again, we can see then we've started to fill these roles quite well. Each member of staff now should be able to log in and they'll be able to view their own profile. So if we try that, we'll log in as Beth Brown. And when Beth logs in, she can of course see the company details. Remember, she is the IQA, so she can see it. She can click on our staff. And because she's the IQA, she can view people's profiles. She can view her own profile. And she could have gone to your details for the same thing. And she can change her password now. And she can view her own files. And if she wanted to, she could upload another document. If we went in as Thomas, he was only delivery staff, he can't click on Beth or Andrea to view their profiles. He has that limited access because he was only delivery staff member. He can't view their profiles. Okay, so in recap then, we have so far with this application, which is still waiting to be approved, we've got all of our company details. We go to our staff pages, we've got our current staff with evidence of their competence uploaded. What we'll notice is the IQA hasn't had a training number set yet, neither has delivery staff members. Head of centre and main contact, if it's Andrea, because she's not also delivery staff, she won't actually get a trainer number. The others will. What is important is for the IQA team and delivery staff to make sure that they're maintaining their files and that everything online is up to date and current. And that should be one of the actions of the IQA, is to verify any centre staff have appropriate and up to date details. It's also one of the checks that we'll do as part of the EQA process.